Hello everybody, it's Bronze Braun, and today we're going to play the Doki Doki Modification Club, the festival. Now, I will let you know, I played this before. I played like the first bit of it. However, my computer, I don't know what happened, it quit recording. But just for you guys, I'm going to play through the whole first part again. Hi again, Jackson. So great to see you again. It's been a while, hasn't it? I should probably brief you on what's going on. The game has changed a bit since the last time you were here. What you're about to play takes place after the entirety of what you call Act 1. But I don't want to force you to play through that again, so you have a few options. You can either write a few poems for me, or you can just answer a few questions by my fellow club members. I need this information to be able to set up the game to be like you actually played it again. So what'll it be? Okay, last time I went to the writing poems, and you just basically did the exact same thing you did beforehand. So I want to, I did that the first time, and it was the exact same thing. There was no difference. So I want to do, I'll input choices. Okay, so in order to set up the game properly, I need to know how you would play through Act 1 so I can set the variables accordingly. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. To start, which of my fellow club members did you like the most? Besides me, of course. I liked Sayori. And which of them did you like the least? Man, I may get a lot of hate for this. I liked Yuri the least, mostly because of Act 2. Because Act 2 really pushed me away from her. But, Act 1, she was perfectly fine. I kind of didn't like her character, though. Like, her personality is really good, but her most mature and most beautiful character is also the shyest cliche I've seen too many times, but she still was my least favorite. If you could spend the weekend with one of the club members and let them prepare for the festival, who would it be? Natsuki, obviously. And let's say, hypothetically, of course, if Sayori would confess her love to you, what would you do? Confess my love back. Okay, well, that's all the questions I have. I think I said all the variables right, but bear with me if it's not absolutely perfect. I have to go now. I guess I'll see you in a second, Jackson. It's the day of the festival. I didn't realize until now that, no music plays during this part. Like, normally when the game starts, the music plays and everything. But, on this, the day of the festival scene in Act 1, there is no music playing throughout the whole thing. Which is, I just realized that. Anyways, it's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparation for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki's already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I could probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Jackson! You're the first one here. Thanks for being so early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing 2 booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. That must be the one she prepared that has all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone and wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for it, Jackson. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. But, I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. That's the one thing that I like the least about this game, is the all of that in this game. All the in it. Ugh, but anyways, I will more than tolerate that if it means I can play through this game. Anywho, Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely bring people Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Oh, it's the exact same as the first one. It just stops moving. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Jackson? What's wrong? I got a pit in my stomach too when I first played through the original game. Oh man. That's a game anyways. Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. See, you can see the skip option here, because I've already played through this part up to a certain point, because for some reason, like I said earlier, my recorder quit working, but hopefully it'll still record throughout this whole thing. But I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even a simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give to her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I didn't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori! Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't that a kind of breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. You have no idea. Oh, how much of a scar this text has on my brain. First playing through this, oh, my heart had never raced so fast. Sayori? There's a large lump under the covers of Sayori's bed. Sayori! Sayori! Ah! The lump rises suddenly, the covers falling away to reveal Sayori. Jackson? Is that you? What time is it? Past the time you needed to be up by, dummy. Come on, we gotta go. Monica's waiting for us. Monica's? She looks at me, puzzled. The festival? Oh, shoot. Sayori starts looking around the room frantically. I'm not ready for this. She quickly moves around the room, picking through the items strewn everywhere. She finds her school uniform and places it gently on the bed before turning back towards me. I don't know if I can handle this today, Jackson. Of course you can, it's just the festival. You've been preparing for this for so long. I know, but maybe it's a sign that I didn't wake up in time this morning. I really don't think I should go, Jackson. Come on, Sayori. You're already up anyway, let's go. Sayori looks at me, tears welling up in the corners of her eyes. I suddenly realize that I'm yelling at her. A feeling of guilt washes over me. Am I forgetting what I promised myself? What I promised her? You don't have to worry. I'll be fine. I'll be here with you the whole time. But I don't think I'll be able to read my poem in front of other people, Jackson. It's fine. I'll talk to Monica and I'm sure she'll be willing to let you skip that part. I promised you that I'd be here with you every step of the way, and I'm sticking by that. Okay. Plus, you put a lot of work into preparing for this. You should be there when it pays off. I'm sure Monica and the rest of the club would be happy just to see you there supporting them while they read their poems. I guess you're right. Now you need to get dressed, and don't expect me to help you. I mean, I don't know about me, but I'd definitely help her get dressed. I'm kidding. In a moment, we're outside. I'm glad that I went back to wake Sayori up. Yeah, glad in this version of the game anyway. We stop outside the club room for a second. You're going to be fine, Sayori. As long as you're here with me, Jackson. As long as you're here with me, Jackson. Sayori cracks a slight smile, but I can tell she still doesn't want to be here. Sometimes I forget that different characters are talking, but I'll try my best to remember that. I grab her hand and we enter the room together. The room has more people in it than I've ever seen before. Yeah, it looks pretty packed. A group of desks is assembled into a makeshift table atop which sits Natsuki's cupcake arrangement. Yuri's banners are hung around the room from the ceiling and walls. Monica sees this and walks over, a look of relief on her face. Jackson! Thank God you made it. I was afraid we were going to have to start without you. I'm glad too. I wouldn't want to miss this. Hey Monica. I pull her by her arm over to a corner of the room. I barely got Sayori to come to the festival, and she's always really nervous about the poem performance. Is it okay if she doesn't present hers? That should be fine, I guess. You know, Jackson, you're such a great boyfriend. If only she could see that. I blush. Thanks. Monica stands there for a second, smiling at me before turning back towards the rest of the people. Okay, everyone. We're about to start, so if everyone could find a seat then we can begin. I walk back over to Sayori and grab her hand. I lead her over to a group of 4 desks right at the front of the room. We sit down at adjacent desks just behind Natsuki and Yuri. I turn my attention back to Monica as the rest of the room settles down. For some reason, every time I went to this text, I've had to click it twice. I don't know why. Okay, everyone. Also, quick point out, I had no idea this computer was here until someone pointed it out. I didn't know there was a computer in the Literature Club. Okay, everyone, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Monica, president of the Literature Club. At that desk over there is my vice president, Sayori. Monica points towards Sayori. She timidly forces a smile and turns around to the rest of the room, giving a little wave. I can imagine her just gently turning around and waving. One of the activities we like to do in the Literature Club is to write and share poems. Today we have a selection of poems that our members have written that they will now present for us. To start, I will be reading my own poem, The Way They Fly. They take flight, soaring over the land. Also, I just want to point out, the way they put their music in while they read their poems is amazing. Like, it's really good attention to detail. Anyway, soaring over the land. Cheerful, comfortable, qualified, able to see the world yet sightless. They fly with their wings out wide, only to close them in and dive, seemingly going to hit the ground, but still rising once more. They fly with weariness, hiding themselves however they can, afraid of showing themselves, but opening up to trust. They fly with hesitation, unsure of where they want to go. Once committed, unable to stop themselves, but despite the way they fly, they still fly, while I'm stuck to the ground, a leaf unable to blow away into the wind, a caught child by the arm by a parent, a dog leashed to a pole, not free to spread my wings wide, not free to hide myself, not free to let myself go. That's the way they fly, and I can never do that. Thank you. The room erupts in clapping, and now Yuri with her poem, After Image of a Crimson Eye. Monica looks really upset, and her poem is a very good representation of her character. They were really good with that poem. Yuri stands up, timidly walking to the front of the classroom, her pamphlet in hand. After Image of a Crimson Eye. I see a crimson world, my eyes wide open. A quick glance, but I'm instantly burned. Eyes blinking, mind racing, heart beating. Body pulsing, stomach churning, face tingling. I can't escape it, I can't fight it. It takes hold of me. It controls me. It is me. I feel compulsive. I think repulsive. I act impulsive. I want it. I don't. I do. Yuri pauses. It's receding. It's reality. It's me. I collapse. I breathe. I'm sorry. It's okay. I try to forget. I try to resist. I try to remember. Permanently stained in my mind, the afterimage of a crimson eye. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know if it was Dan or the mod developers. I'm pretty sure it was Dan. He did a really good job picking the poems for the characters. But if people who made this like randomly picked one, I'm pretty sure Dan got these poems. He did a really good job representing these characters, representing them in poems. It's really good. The room erupts once more in clapping as Yuri makes her way back to her seat. Thank you, Yuri. That was great. Now Natsuki with her poem, Jump. Natsuki stands up and makes her way to the front of the room before situating herself behind the podium. Jump. How do the frogs know how to jump? Who teaches dogs to bark? Who gave the toads their lumps? Whoever it was left their mark. Why do eagles fly? Why do babies cry? Why do humans blunder? Why do we rip our world asunder? The frogs don't wonder. They just jump. Thanks. The room erupts in clapping. That was cute, Natsuki. Thank you. Now, Jackson with As I Grew Older. This one was not made by Dan, I know that. because it doesn't say at any point what poem the character chose. So this is also very good with the poem they picked. I get up, my legs shaking slightly with nervousness as I walk towards the front of the room. I place my pamphlet on the podium, my arms slightly to either side of it. I lean on it a little bit, realizing how many people actually showed up. What if I read it wrong? Will people realize that I didn't actually write this poem? I push those thoughts out of my head. I look over at Sayori. She's staring back at me with a slight smile that I can tell is genuine. I have to do this for her. For my girlfriend. Take a deep breath. Do this for your cinnamon roll, Jackson. Come on! As I grew older, it was a long time ago, but it was there then, in front of me, bright like a sun, my dream. And then the wall rose slowly, between me and my dream. Rose until it touched the sky, the wall. Shadow, I am black. I lie down in the shadow, no longer in the light of my dream before me. Above me, only the thick wall, only the shadow. My hands, my dark hands, break through the wall, find my dream. Help me to shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break this shadow, into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun. Thank you. I can barely hear the sound of clapping as the adrenaline in my body drowns out the rest of the world. Wow, that was really good, Jackson. Thank you. A wave of relief washes over me as I walk back to my seat. As I sit down, Sayori leans over and whispers to me, "You did a really good job, Jackson." Thanks, Sayori. I couldn't have done it if you weren't here. Sayori gives me a small smile. I'm pretty sure this one is sincere. I'm glad that she's finally enjoying the festival, even if it's only a little bit. I turn back towards the front of the room, where Monica is once again standing at the podium. I just wanted to thank you all for coming and seeing what we're all about. I hope to see some of you at our next meeting. Until then, let's continue to enjoy these lovely cupcakes and tea. The chatter of the busy room returns once again as people begin talking to one another. I try to make my way around the room, checking out how things are going. I always read these wrong. I try to make my way around the room, checking out how things are going with each other. Let's try that again. I try to make my way around the room, checking out how things are going with each of the other club members. Monica is near the front of the room trying to sell the club to a few of her popular friends. Natsuki is giving baking tips to a group of other girls who all seem to be enjoying her cupcakes a lot. Yuri is pouring people tea as they pass by the refreshments table. And Sayori is busy chatting with a few of her friends from school in the corner. Everyone looks like they're having a lot of fun. Even Sayori. Before I know it, the festival's over and the room is cleared. I'm really proud of you guys. Your presentations were fantastic. Yuri, your posters were really great. Natsuki, your cupcakes were amazing as always. Don't forget, we have a normal club meeting tomorrow, so write a poem to bring. Hopefully we'll have a few new faces there with us. That's all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. The group breaks up and goes their separate ways. Yuri to take down her banners, Natsuki clean her cupcakes, and Monica to pick up trash. That leaves just me and Sayori alone. Are you up for going the rest of your classes? Yeah, I'll be okay. We stand there for a few seconds. Thanks for coming with me to the festival. What? I don't know if I could have read my poem out loud if you hadn't been there. I didn't even do anything. You didn't have to. You just being there was enough. I could just look over and see you there supporting me. Yeah, I guess. We stand there for a few more seconds while Sayori stares at the floor. Thanks for making me get up, Jackson. I'm glad I came. It was a lot of fun. See, I told you. Yeah. Listen, Jackson. I don't want you to get the wrong idea, but would it be okay if we just put the whole relationship thing on hold for a little bit? It's just a lot to deal with all of a sudden. That's okay, Sayori, whatever you need. Thanks, Jackson. Alright. Well, we don't want to be late for class, so we should go. Yeah. We part ways as I head towards the door. I open it and walk down the hallway towards my homeroom. The rest of the day feels like a bore after the events of this morning, but soon enough it's over, and as the bell rings, everyone files out of class. I wait for Sayori after school and we walk home together. I didn't tell you yet, Jackson, but one of my classes, someone came up to me and asked me when the literature club meets. That's really great, Sayori. Do you think we'll have a lot of new members tomorrow? I hope so. It'll be nice to have a few new faces. I'm not thrilled myself about having new members, but she makes a point about new faces. I'll see you tomorrow then, right, Sayori? Yeah. Sayori disappears off towards her own house. I should be happy. It seems like Sayori's having a much better time than she was this morning. If getting new members will continue to keep her mood like this, then I guess I'll be fine with it. But for now, it's time to get started on my next poem. Alright, so, you can now have poems for Monica, apparently. And I really want to make a poem for Monica. Before I do any of this, let me save. As you can see, right here, I already did. I should be in bed right now. It's 1 in the morning. I have work in like 8 hours. Anyways, I did record this a while back. However, there was no recording through that entire thing. It just stopped as soon as I left the festival thing. Or as soon as I left Monica to go to the festival, so I decided just to re-record the whole thing. Anyways, let's go back to this. I really want to make poems for Monica. So, let's see. Summer, nope. Embrace, misery, graveyard, fireworks. Fun, marshmallow, orange, hurt, hug. Let's do hug. Nope. Landscape, meager, nope. Cute, rainbow, swimsuit. Swimsuit, nope. Hopeless, okay, no, that's Sayori. Calm. Daydream. I still don't think you can make poems for Monica. Spinning. Crimson, Sundiri. Sundiri, that's a definite Natsuki. Vanilla, Lust, Portrait, Disown, Disaster, Journey, Candy Scars. I got a feeling some of these could be Monica, but they aren't. Oh, Goddess could have been one. Dang it. Cinnamon Bun. Oh my god, I didn't even see that one. That's amazing. I wonder who it would have picked if I would have clicked Goddess. That's great. Email, playground, alright. Jackson, seeing Sayori every morning used to be annoying, but now I've gotten used to it. It's almost like it's not really morning without her. This song has been permanently drilled into my brain from this game, and I'm not to blame. I absolutely love this game, but every time I hear this song, I just sing along with it. I remember the very first sequence of the game. Good morning. So what? Are you excited for today? What do you mean? You know, it's today. Nothing special is happening today, Sayori. I don't know what you're talking about. Something is. What? I guess you'll just have to wait and see. I hate it when she's the one who's teasing me. That's probably good, especially after last weekend. We arrived at school and part ways. Welcome back, Jackson. Today's the big, well, second big day. Huh? Today we get to find out who is going to join the club. Oh, right. I'm still not super stoked on the idea of having new club members, but seeing the look of pure joy on Monica's face when she talks about it makes it seem like it can't be that bad. I'll wait to start the meeting until a few new people show up. I don't want them to feel excluded because we started without them. Good idea. 10 minutes pass and there's still no one in the club room except for me and the other girls. Monica seems like she's starting to freak out a little bit, although I'm not sure exactly why. I talked to so many people after the festival and they all seemed really interested in the club. Maybe they were all just faking it. Maybe no one really cared about the club. Maybe they just wanted to be nice to me. Monica looks down, disappointment consuming her expression. Don't talk like that, Monica. It's odd to see Monica and Sayori switch places like this. I personally think the club is fine the way it is. We don't need anyone else. Finally, someone besides Natsuki, or someone besides Sayori and Monica talk. This took a while, but we got to it. I agree with Natsuki. I like it just being us. Sayori shoots at me a worried glance. She looks like she's about to say something when Monica interrupts her. I know, and I love the club the way it is. Monica sighs audibly. I just thought it'd be nice to have some new members. A few new faces with fresh poem ideas. But I guess that doesn't matter because we aren't going to get any. Monica, I'm sure people want to join the club. Maybe they just didn't realize that there was a meeting today. I made it awfully clear when the next meeting was during the festival. That's a typo, so I skipped over it. I can see tears start to well up at the corner of Monica's eyes. This club really means a lot to her, doesn't it? It's fine, guys. Really. I've accepted that it just wasn't meant to. And I really would have liked it if they would have put tears in her eyes, but, you know, you can only do so much. Monica is interrupted by the door opening. All of us stop dead still. After what feels like an eternity of suspense, the stranger walks in. Hi, I'm... Wallace! Monica bounces over to him in excitement, her sadness from a second ago instantly washing away. Okay, for those of you who didn't realize, this is the, player model of... this is a fan-made MC model. Basically, this is what the MC would look like in the game. Monica bounces over to him in excitement, her sadness from a second ago instantly washing away. She throws her arms around him with an embrace. I was hoping you'd come. I was starting to become afraid that you had just said yes to get me off your back. I made you a promise, and I'd never let you down, Monica. Monica stares at him with a loving gaze. I'm so glad you decided to come after all. Have you met the other club members? Monica gestures towards us. I think so. Yuri, Natsuki, Sayori, and... This right here has me worried. I hope this game does not come out the way I hope. I hope this mod does not turn out the way I think it is. He hesitates for a moment, staring at me with a look of slight embarrassment. Jackson. I extend my hand to him and he shakes it in return. We all stand there for a second in silence, adjusting to each other's presences. Did you remember to write a poem? If you didn't, that's fine. Yeah, I whipped something up last night. That's great. I'd feel bad if you had to sit back and watch us have all the fun. It's just kind of odd seeing someone in the literature club with pants on. Well then you know what time it is. Okay, everyone, let's show Wallace what our club is all about. Alright, who should I show my poem to first? Let's start with Sayori. I really liked how you wrote this one. You're getting really good at transporting your reader into your bittersweet story. Doing that is not easy, especially with such little experience. It's really not that good. You're so silly, Jackson. You must really be learning a lot from Monica. Oh, really? I think I get my inspiration for somewhere else. I give Sayori a playful wink. Who? I roll my eyes. Is her skull really that thick? Or is it just part of her act? You can be really confusing sometimes. Anyways, are you ready to read mine? Of course. Oh shit, excuse me. Broken flowers. The petal tips dripped down on the floor, splashes of color bright and soft. I collect them up and hold them close. Their scent is sweet. It fades. The petals rust and crumble. I went back to the floor. There are no more colored droplets. The flowers that whipped are gone. Only death remains. I scan the poem and notice it's different than what Sayori usually writes. After what happened over the weekend, I've realized all the subtle depressing messages that have been in her poems the whole time. But this wasn't trying to hide it. Jackson, did you like it? A sound of her voice pulls me away from my thoughts. It was really good. I stopped myself. It's probably best to not express about her feelings right now. Just thought it was interesting how you used flowers. What kind of analysis was that? Oh, it's depressing, isn't it? No, it's fine. If it's what you feel, let it out in your poetry. It's better for Sayori to get her feelings out in her poetry rather than let them control her life. Thanks, Jackson. Thanks for sharing. Aww. Let's show it to Wallace next. Okay, also, I originally started with Wallace, and it said I should start with a new guy, but this time I wanted to see if anything was different, if I chose Wallace next. But I still went with the Sayori route on the first poem. I guess it's good. I'm confused. What do you mean, you guess it's good? Well, I mean, poems are supposed to be artistic and stuff, but yours is just... I feel my face starting to turn red. Just what? Say it. I feel a small fire starting to burn inside of me. It makes no sense. It's literally just a bunch of random words written on a page. Whatever floats your boat, dude. Like you do you. Honestly, I think it's pretty stupid. What? It's like you just went full bipolar and put as many happy and sad words as you could all over the page. What? Who does this guy think he is? Joining the club randomly and then accusing me of writing bad poetry? Well, then let me see what you wrote then. Be my guest. A brand new world. I said that weird. A brand new world. I wake up from an eternal sleep to a bright shining sun, calling to me, to join the world. I walk outside, seeing things I've never seen before. It seems so familiar, yet so strange. People greet me as old friends, but I barely recognize them. I feel out of place, yet made to be here. Every day, it's a brand new world. I'm sorry, dude. It's nothing personal. I just don't like the poem. Well, it's how you write, so you're just going to have to deal. Well, it's how I write, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Where'd you learn it from? Huh? Your style? I don't know. It just came naturally. Before joining the club, I hadn't really written any poetry before, so it's still not fully developed or anything. Wait, if you don't write poetry, then why did you join this club? Wallace glances behind himself casually, looking towards where the other club members are standing before turning back to me. His face bright with the cheeky expression that transforms into a knowing stare. Actually, what? I could feel my face begin to get hot again. What were you going to say? I'm going to tell you right now, I do not like Wallace already. Whenever I first played through this, I didn't like him, and I'm not going to like him probably. If this is where I think it's going, I'm not going to like him. Nothing. Never mind. Maybe just try to write something more straightforward next time. Alright, let's show it to Monica. This is really good. It caught me a little bit by surprise. Is that a good thing? Of course, assuming you do it right. It was just a little different from the one you wrote before the festival. A wave of embarrassment washes over me. This one was really unique, and I could tell you put a lot of thought into it. It really wasn't that innovative. Jackson, don't be afraid to give yourself some credit. You've improved a lot since you first joined the club. I think you're due for a little praise. Would you like to read my poem now? Of course. Poetry. I really like how they actually put other poems after the festival, how they actually thought of poems themselves, and they're really good. Poetry. A jumble of words on paper, set to a broken, uneven rhyme. It tugs at people's souls, just the edge of a thought, a feeling. It's nothing more than scraps, just an echo of a thought, less and more meaning than they see. Is it symbolic, or simply a jest, designed to pull them away? Each inked thought drips with emotion, a snapshot of a moment. It breaks. How to write it down clearly, how to tell this tale. A jumble of words is enough. They see beauty in the incomplete. End. That was great. I thought it was really interesting that you would decide to describe poetry in a poem. Really, it's really meta, but it works. Yeah. You understood the ending, right? Yeah. Maybe I should make it a bit more straightforward. No, it's fine. I'm being replaced. I can see it in your face, Monica. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. She's gonna replace me. No, it's fine. In fact, I don't like straightforward. If someone doesn't understand your poem, you shouldn't have to change it so they can. You almost always lose a part of it in the process. Well, I'm glad we're in agreement. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. A common problem people face when writing is figuring out what to write about. It's almost always hard to start if an idea isn't ready trying to burst out of your head. It's almost always hard to start if an idea isn't readily trying to burst out of your head. Then they start to worry about the details and want to make sure that it's going to be perfect before starting. But you need to buckle down and start writing whatever feels right. Even if it's not that good, it's always nice to have a place to start. Otherwise, you can just sit there for hours getting nothing done. And anyways, that's why we have erasers. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Alright, let's show it to, I've been a little hateful on this video. Let's show it to her next. I liked it, but never mind. I really shouldn't say it. Don't worry, I want you to tell me what you think. I won't take it personally. I was going to say that this poem seems rather simple. I'm so sorry. I really shouldn't have said that to you. Okay, credit where it's due. I absolutely love Yuri's shyness personality. It's just the sweetest thing. I would like her more if I hadn't seen that in so many other different scenarios. But it's still really cute regardless. Seriously, there's no need to apologize. I appreciate your honesty. Thanks for understanding. It makes me happy that we could speak candidly without it affecting our relationship. When I said simple, I meant that your poem lacked depth or description. It felt basic, like something Sayori or Natsuki would write. But I'm not saying that you're not skilled or anything. I'm just saying that you have the ability to do better than that. I've seen it, but you choose not to. Hearing the disappointment in Yuri's voice hurts on the inside. I thought your poem from the festival was a particularly excellent example of that ability. My heart begins to feel heavy with guilt. That's not what I wrote. I didn't write it. Those were some valid points. Thank you. Would you like to read mine? Sure. Fairy tale. The story begins. The girl sets out on the winding path, leaving behind the coziness of home, entering the unknown with twisted paths and broken trees. Shadows linger over the land. A wolf's howl carries far. Foreboding dodges her steps. A stranger's words are tempting. They tell of another path, beauty and peace and joy from love. Just turn away from what was taught. The girl is blind, willingly follows, not checking the weight of his words. A hungry wolf sees her leave safety, and the end is never reached. The end is never reached. A girl sets out on a winding path. A chilly wind blows west. Changes have been carried forth. A new story begins. Normally it's pretty easy to read and understand the poems, but Yuri's poems always force me to look extra carefully for each detail in order to get the full scope of the poem. You really did a good job of putting a vivid image in my head. Not only were you able to transport me to those places, but you also made me feel the impact of the character's choices. Thank you, Jackson. I love it when an author is able to transport you to a new place or make you feel emotion. It means a lot to me for you to say that I can do that. You're welcome. Well, thank you for sharing, Jackson. You too, Yuri. Alright. This was Natsuki. Hello. It's fine. Fine! You're certainly getting better, but don't expect me to shower you with compliments just because you're improving. I guess I'll have to really earn it then. You can try. Anyways, here's mine. Jump and leap. Spin and shout. Bounce and jostle, hostile, whatever you want to call it. All about. Play the game. We'll have fun, racing through until we're done. Look over the poem and notice Natsuki's signature cute and simple style. This is good. I like how it's cute. My style isn't cute. Haven't we been over this? I wasn't finished. What I was going to say is that it's cute and simple. Every line is so purposeful, and the rhyming and rhythm are perfect together. Natsuki starts to blush. I'm just not quite sure if it has a deeper message that I'm not getting. Like I'm going to tell you. It's like they're all out to get me, I swear. Not like I'm quite sure it has a deeper message than I'm not getting. Of course you're not getting. You're the MC. You never get anything in this game. Like I'm going to tell you. Well, either way, it was still good. Thanks, I guess. I was really impressed with everyone's poems today. Especially yours, Wallace. You have a natural talent for poetry. Thanks. I hate your face already. That about wraps it up for the time we have for this meeting. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you with fresh poems tomorrow. I've sang goodbye to everybody and exchanged suspicious stares with Wallace. I leave the club room with Sayori. We're almost home when Sayori finally pipes up and asks the question I was afraid she was going to ask. So what do you think of Wallace? I like how they made the pop-up animation for her, too. She only pipes up. And, he's fine. It must be nice to have another guy in the club. You could say that. Well, Monica is really happy that he's here, so it's good that you two are getting along. Well, this is my stop. I'll see you tomorrow, Jackson. Bye, Sayori. Hopefully me and Wallace can find some way to get along. Just because he's another guy doesn't mean we have to compete with each other. There's plenty of girls to go around after all. Now to write a poem for tomorrow. Alright, now this is the part where I got to before I stopped and it realized it was not recording. I really hope it's been recording this time. And, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try a poem for every character. Like, I tried one for Sayori, now I'm gonna try one for Natsuki and then Yuri. And I'm actually going to, try to get something for Monica, because I would really enjoy to get a poem for Monica. But, if you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comments, and if you want me to put a face cam up in the top left or top right, just to let me know. It'll take a little bit longer to edit the videos because it'll have a new feature in it, so it'll take a lot longer to put it together. But if you guys want me to put in a face cam, just let me know. Aside from that, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, I'll see you all in the next one. Hey everybody, thanks for making it to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know a lot of people, mostly Bijou Mike, has made videos about all the Doki Doki Literature Club mods. However, I have not seen any of those videos, mostly because I've been saving the suspense for myself, because this game, I absolutely love with all my heart. I have not loved an indie game so much since Honey Pop, and it's equally taken the place with Honey Pop as like the #1 indie game in my heart, and I want to play every single mod I can get for this game. I know some of them will be really dumb and silly, but that's about every fandom. You get dumb, silly stuff in it, and that's what makes it enjoyable. But I hope you guys will enjoy the series of me playing Doki Doki Literature Club mods. And aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, thank you all for watching.